Guys, this is Miss Smith. I'm going to be doing word study practice C and D with you, so follow along as we go through these. All right, for part C, your directions say choose two words that best explain or define the bold root word. So we are using all of our word study words from this week. We're trying to find two words that are most closely related to that word. So number one is the word dehydrate. So if I look at my choices, I have moist, dry, arid, and water. All right, based on what I know about dehydrate, I know that moist is not going to be an option because that's talking about water. Dry sounds like it could be one, so let's put a dot next to that. Arid, if something is arid, it's very dry. There's not a lot of water there. So I'm also going to put a dot here. And then my last choice is water. Well, if something is dehydrated, it does not have water, so I know that's not going to be it either. So I'm going to circle B and C. All right, number two is hydroelectric. My choices are energy, gas, ocean, and power. Now, if I'm talking about hydroelectric, I'm talking about power that is coming, or not power, but energy coming from something made with water. So let's see. I have energy. I know that that could be an option. Gas. Hydroelectric really doesn't talk about gas power. Ocean. Well, the water could come from the ocean, but that's not as strong of an option as energy, but we'll mark it just in case. And then power. Okay, so power and energy, we know that that could be hydroelectric. So out of those three I have left, I'm going to say power and energy are the two that would be the best options here. Because ocean, all hydroelectric energy or power does not necessarily come from ocean water. It could come from other water sources. So that one's not as strong as the other two. All right, number three is hydrant. I have pipe, burn, hose, and spout. Okay, so if I think back to my definition of a hydrant, I know that it talks about something that water would come from. So a pipe, that could be a choice. Burn, a hydrant is not going to burn you, so I'm not going to choose that. A hydrant and a hose. Well, you attach a hose to a hydrant, but the hose itself is not the hydrant. And spout. Okay, hydrants do have a spout. That's where the water would come out. So I'm going to choose D, and I'm going to choose A. Number four, aquatic. My choices are mountains, pool, ocean, and desert. So with aquatic, I know that I need to find something dealing with water. So that's not going to be the mountains. The pool could be an option. The ocean could also be an option. And the desert's not going to have water either. So in this case, I'm choosing B and C. Number five, aqueduct. I have river, passage, channel, and lake. All right, with an aqueduct, I'm going to look at some type of water source, something that water can pass through, something in that sense. So river, it does have water, but that's not the same thing as an aqueduct. A passage, well, an aqueduct is a water passage, so let's mark that one. Channel, same thing, that's very similar to passage. A water channel could be called an aqueduct. And a lake, it's not really anything that water's passing through. Water just sits there. So I'm going to choose B and C. Number six, aquarium. I have fishbowl, cage, pond, and fish tank. Well, based on those choices and what I know about an aquarium, you don't put fish in a cage, and fish live in a pond, but that's not the same thing as an aquarium. So I'm going to choose fishbowl, and I'm going to choose fish tank. Number seven, aquifer. I have underground, I have dirty, beach, and watery. All right, for this one, I do know that an aquifer is underground, so A looks pretty good. Dirty, well, It's underground, so it could be dirty, but that may not be the best choice. Let's check the others. Beach, all right, an aquifer is not at the beach. And watery, all right, I do know that an aquifer is going to have water in it. So out of those three that I have left, I'm going to go with underground, and I'm going to choose watery. So I'm going to mark dirty out. Number 8 is marine. You have valley, nautical, sea, and lake. All right, so marine is going to be talking about something to do with the water or the sea. So I'm going to take valley out. Nautical, this is a word that means something dealing with the ocean or something in the water. So I'm going to mark this one. Sea, I'm going to mark as well. And a lake, even though it's a water source, it's not going to be the same thing as a marine. So I'm going to circle C and B. All right, number 9 is marina. We have airport, cars, dock, and harbor. Now remember, a marina is a place for small boats. So they're not going to be at the airport. They are not the same thing as cars, and cars cannot park in a marina. So that leaves me with C and D. And number 10, maritime. So we have coastal, oceanic, snow, and rainforest. So if something is dealing with maritime, it's going to be something involving the water, something involving the ocean. So coastal would be on the coast, which there are oceans on the coast. Oceanic is talking about the ocean. I'm not going to have snow, and I'm not going to be in a rainforest. So I'm going to choose A and B. All right, let's move on to practice D. Now, practice D is focusing on analogies. Now, remember, with an analogy, you're talking about the relationship of different words. So your directions here say, circle the analogy that best matches the bold words. So number 1, we have water polo is to aquatic, and then we're trying to figure out what pair of words follows that same relationship. So we have baseball is to football, goalie is to soccer, horse racing is to equestrian, and water is to swimming. So water polo is an aquatic sport. So we have the noun and the adjective that would describe it. So baseball and football really don't match that pair. Goalie and soccer don't really match the pair. Horse racing, equestrian, that could be an answer. So let's check D just to make sure. Water is to swimming. All right, so that doesn't show a noun and an adjective relationship either. So we're going to choose letter C here because horse racing is an equestrian sport. All right, number 2, dehydrated is to water. Then we have Coke is to juice, coffee is to tea, thirsty is to hungry, starving is to food. All right, so if you are dehydrated, you need water. So let's find a pair that matches that same pattern. Coke is to juice. That really doesn't follow. If you are this one, you need this one. Coffee and tea, same thing. It doesn't really follow it. If you are thirsty, you don't need hungry. However, if you're starving, you need food. So I'm going to choose letter D. All right, number 3, marina is to boats. And then we have ocean is to bikes. Parking lot is to cars. River is to rafts. Plains are to sky. So on this one, we're looking for marina is a place that you would park boats. So ocean, bikes. I'm not going to park my bike in the ocean. Parking lot to cars. Now I am going to park my car in a parking lot, but let's check the others. River is to rafts. Now if you're going to be on a raft in the river, you're not going to park it there. You're going to float down the river, so that one doesn't work. And on this one, sky would not be parked in a plane. So I'm going to choose B. All right, number 4, starfish marine. So I know a starfish is a type of marine animal. So then I have polar bear is to Arctic, fish is to whales, dogs are to cats, horse is to desert. So I need to find one with the same relationship as our original pair. So out of these four choices, the only one that shows me a type of animal being described by the second would be letter A. A polar bear is an Arctic animal. Number 5, rock is to aquifer. Then you have water is to lake, ocean is to shells, magma is to lava, underground is to sand. So on this one, I know that rocks are located in an aquifer because it's underground. So I need the first one to be located in the second one. So if I look at these four choices, the only one that really makes sense is going to be A, water is found in a lake. Number 6, water is to hydroelectricity. Then I have fossil fuels are to gas, mammals are to reptiles, dam is to river, food is to plants. So if I'm looking at this, I know that water helps to create hydroelectricity. So if I look for a pair with that same relationship, I know that fossil fuels are going to help create gas. All right, number 7, I have hydrant is to extinguish. So a hydrant is going to help extinguish something. So then I have refrigerator is to cool, books are to paper, ocean is to breeze, fire is to water. So I need the first one to help do the second one. So if I look at these four choices, the best option here is a refrigerator is going to cool things. All right, number 8, fish is to aquarium. Well, we know that fish live in an aquarium, so we're looking for something similar to that relationship. So I have dog is to cat, hamster is to cage, barn is to horse, water is to glass. So the first one would live in the second one. So in this case, I'm going to choose B. The hamster is going to live in a cage. All right, number 9, I have waves are to maritime. So waves would be something dealing with maritime or the water. So then I have cold is to hot, bay is to pier, snow is to mountains, swim is to ocean. So waves are going to be located in a maritime environment. So if I look at my four choices, the only one that follows that relationship is going to be C. Snow would be located in the mountains. All right, and number 10, aqueduct is to water. So then we have channel is to mud, brick is to house, waterfall is to stream, and vein is to blood. So we're looking for the first one contains the second one because water is located in an aqueduct. So if I look for that same pattern, I'm going to choose D because blood is found in the veins.